Hello everyone, and welcome back to a new episode of Prismata. A few little updates before we get started here. First, and clearly most important, is that I finally ground out enough wins to get the ossified drone avatar just by playing casual match, which is what I like to do when I'd like to play but don't really have the time to record. So it's fun playing those bots. You usually get a win, but not always. They sneak one by me sometimes. Let's see, what else? The other is, it's been a while since I played Ranked. I know it doesn't seem that way to you, since this is coming up one day after the most recent video, but actually I've been doing a lot of recording of the puzzle pack stuff, the campaign combat training and all this. I think by the time this video goes live, most of those, or maybe all, will have been published, so you guys have seen them. For me, they have not yet been published. But, okay, so there's that. I haven't played Ranked in a while, so who can say how well or how badly I will do. I'm a little bit surprised that I have not suffered a vacation penalty, in fact. I feel like it's been almost 2 weeks since my last game, let alone my last, 20 games or whatever it is you're supposed to play every 2 weeks. I expected to receive a penalty. Alright, base plus 8. What do we have here? Looks very red. Yeah, red-green. Kind of liking player 2 here. I don't know if any of this blue stuff is really going to work out that well. Wow, Fission Turret can even come into play, perhaps, somehow. I think we're just going to get a... Okay, 60 seconds. Going to get, a turn 2 Animus. And then... I'd like to work in a Gaussite, maybe, so I can threaten Tia. But probably Tarsier Drone is a good starting point. This might be the kind of game where you can actually go double Animus even on low econ, just with, Perforator to spend your extra red. Probably not. I don't think I'm going to have a bunch of resources to spare on that. But, Corpus is also a use for all of that red. Kind of inconvenient that I can't, if I buy a Tarsier here, I can't drone up. I could get a Perforator, which would let me attack with the Rhino more comfortably and just, hold back the Perforator. Perforator instead of this Tarsier, actually, which puts a lot of pressure on him, actually. Maybe I will do this. He can't be comfortable facing down 4 damage with... He's going to have to build, Rhino Force Field or something, which is not how he wants to be spending his green. And this gets me up almost to drone parity with him, which is nice. Corpus. Oh, okay. That's pretty good for him. I didn't think of that. That's definitely a pretty good thing to have. Well, I would like some green of my own. And I think one more drone's okay? He's threatening to Tia me, actually. Hang on. That might be too much. So here's a thing I could do. Is react to the Tia by getting blue. That's what he wants to do. He wants to Tia me. Okay. I think I can handle that. If he just has a Tia and a Symbiote and nothing else... Oh, and a Corpus. I think I can hold with Doomed Walls. And he might have a tough time doing so. Well, you should click the Corpus, right? Okay, going for the more aggressive line, I see. That means I can comfortably hold the Perforator and sort of exploit him. Of course, it gives him one more health on Tia, but that's not that important, really. I can just do this. He loses Corpus and takes 2 damage on Tia, but he's still pretty breach vulnerable in that case. Actually, I could hold a Rhino instead and attack with Perforator if I want to have my red. We'll see. I don't think all that red is going to be that important. Well, actually it kind of is, right? Because then I can build another Perforator. No, but I don't even need this husk. I could... Well, okay. Given that I'm losing the unit, what would I rather have? A 1 health Rhino or a Perforator? I'd rather have a 1 health Rhino, or a 1 health Rhino remaining. Or a... Hang on. It would be a 0 stamina Rhino, right? I'd clearly rather have a Perforator than a 0 stamina Rhino, which is what I would get if I clicked this. I think we do want Doomed Wall, not just regular wall here, yeah. I'd like to attack for as much as I can, of course. I'm not sure how much that is. If I hold these guys back and build my own Corpus. Do I dare to build a Steel Splitter? Yikes. That seems pretty brave compared to a wall. I don't like losing these 2 Perforators, but if we can weather the storm of this Tia, he's going to have way fewer attackers, which seems like I might be enough for me to come back at him. Well, he won't have that many fewer attackers. We'll be similar on attackers, but I'll have more drones and better tech. So that might be okay. But it might not be. Actually, next turn he might hold the Tia. Not this turn, obviously, but the turn after, because my Doomed Wall's dying anyway. That's an interesting reason why I might have considered not getting a Doomed Wall. Oh, wow! No, he's committing. That's interesting. Okay. I mean, I can hold here. Should this be a Doomed Wall? I don't think so, because it's going to be a while before he gets a lot of attack. I'd rather have a real wall that won't be timing out. I think it was a mistake to click the Gaussite. He should have kept it alive and then just held the Tia. Oh, I forgot. I'm losing the wall anyway. A bit of an early resign here, actually. I think I might have been losing. I held the Tia, but he has a fair amount of attack. I guess it's a bit he's a bit further behind than it looks like, because his attack includes 2 Perforators, and when he spends those, he won't be able to build more attack, which is something that I think he needs to do. He can't just keep attacking me for 4. I'll come back from that. So he really only has like 2, maybe 3 attack. Plus he can't afford to ever click this Corpus if he wants to do anything. I don't know. It seems to me like I'm winning, but I could be losing, I think. Because I can't attack with my Steel Splitter for a little while, at least. I don't know. Obviously, crushing me with the Tia was his primary plan, but... I don't know. This seems like a player 2 favored set with the... Does it though? Like normally, yes, a red rush and something with green, those all favor player 2 in general. But Gaussite is a red unit that works well for player 1 because you kind of want a slightly higher economy to be able to do something like this, and I don't know, maybe that's not true. Maybe I'm just bad with Gaussite. I think he may be overcommitted to the Tia. Like, Gaussite is fine. Forces me to build a Rhino instead of what I want to build. This Conduit, it might be okay, but it really telegraphs, like, I will build a Tia next turn. And if he doesn't build the Tia next turn, he's pretty far behind, I think, having wasted all this money on defense and green that he's not realistically going to use. So this sort of commits him to the Tia. And, like, am I really that vulnerable? I have a Perforator, I have a Rhino. Yes, I don't have any blue. But when you scream so loudly that you're getting Tia, I can pick up blue. I almost didn't notice him, you know, threatening Tia, so you could argue it wasn't screaming that loudly. But to a player who's paying attention, I think this is a very clear Tia setup. And blue by itself has a slightly tough time defending Tia, especially on, like, this many drones. A lot of Tia rushes are on fewer drones, and so just, like, blue is... mid-econ blue can defend. But here I have more attackers, so I don't know. Anyway, the point is, just blue by itself is not always enough to defend. But here there's lots of red defense as well. Tia is a good way to punish someone who goes for too much red too soon. But here, you can use the red to tech into defense with Husk, Perforator, and Corpus. And if I had been able to get a Gaussite, of course, I'd be thrilled. I'd have access to green. So maybe these 2 Tarsiers were actually too much. I don't like to open with Gaussite because it offers the opponent the ability to just build a Rhino to absorb everything, or a Corpus or something. I like to get 2 Tarsiers and then the Gaussite, but maybe there's just not time for that here. Like, okay, yes, I won. Fine, great, but things would have been much more comfortable for me, I think, if I'd had a Gaussite instead of these 2 Tarsiers. Being able to force field makes Tia a lot less troublesome. And I just never... Once he did this, I never had time to build a Gaussite. And, you know, if I'd thought ahead of time about the possibility of him threatening Tia out of this symbiote, I would have preferred to have access to green over having a bit more attack. I wouldn't have thought that I'd be able to hold with just a single blue, but it turns out I did hold. I think he made some mistakes. Most notably here. Like, let's suppose that he does this, right? Doesn't click it, noting that my doomed wall is on the way out. These 2 Perforators are pretty strong pressure plays, but okay, fine. So we do this. And now, I don't know, I guess it's sort of easy for me to... I can defend, you know, comfortably, of course, since he's not threatening all these Gauss charges. But if he holds the Tia and then clicks this, and just lets my doomed wall die off, like, aren't I kind of sad? What else is he spending his money on, exactly? Maybe he just does this. Loses the 3 husks. What else could he do? Just build 2 husks? Save the Corpus clicks? That seems obviously wrong. Except in that this is a turn when he has red to spare, but... I mean, he could do this and build an NG, I guess. and say, haha, this is what you get for buying a doomed wall. You're not getting any value out of it this turn. And now you have to still defend. But actually, that's like easiest thing in the world for me, right? I can even attack a bit. Yeah, it seems like that holding the Tia is not actually that great a plan for him, even though the doomed walls give him some value for it. And now, yeah, it is sort of easy for me, isn't it? Maybe this doomed wall should be an ordinary wall? No, I think it's fine. Actually, yeah, I don't know. It was helpful to absorb more on the Tia turn, but actually I think that like I was floating some red anyway, right? So yeah, just wall husk would have been better. I guess he attacks with this. And now I have a wall that like is not gonna die due to being doomed, which is nice. I kind of have to hang on. I already have perfect defense. Corpus onto wall. What am I thinking? Yeah, and from here it's just like sort of smooth sailing, I think. For me, he's super dead. So actually his line, I guess, was better of clicking the Tia to pressure me, even though it gives me doomed wall value, because the alternative plan is that I get drone value and attacker value. So okay, kind of a cool set. The Tia thing came down a bit closer than I thought it would. Oh yeah, I have to click a button. And what is all this? Numbers. Still don't understand what any of it means, but sure, whatever. Okay, not much of anything of interest. Very good. Let's try to get another game in here, and I have another platinum ticket lying around from all of these casual games I've talked about. Ida. Base +9. Another Tia game, huh? Maybe. There's a lot of rushy red. Huh. There's not a lot of green support, though. You might see like a red-blue thing do better. Grimbotches, Hellhounds. I don't think you can really get Lucina. Here, I don't know, a Tia push from player 2 might actually take me out. It's pretty uncomfortable. I'm contemplating cutting a drone to build like a Blast Forge, but what would I do with it? Get an Oride core so that then when I go Animus Grimbotch, I can attack for getting money? Like, it doesn't seem very good. I'm gonna try to go red, maybe both red and blue this coming turn if my opponent like builds the Animus that I sort of expect. Because I think having access to a Hellhound will make a big difference in a rushy kind of thing like this. But okay, he's not doing that. He's building green, which looks kind of Tia-ish, right? So I want to be ready for that. But I don't know if I need to react quite so drastically as Animus Blast Forge this turn. I don't think this green can really be for Colossus. You just need more drones for that. So this is sort of like a Tia/kinetic driver thing. And I do need to be prepared. But I think just DDB is enough to prepare. Then, like, if he pushes super hard for Tia, I can get ready to defend. If he doesn't, I can just make this build an Oride core and pick up some red. Okay, so this is not like a Tia rush. That's fine. I'm not sure what his green is all about. Looking like kinetic drivers, maybe. I'd like to get Hellhounds and... I don't know. It depends what he does. Hellhounds and Tarsiers, maybe? I can build one ADD this turn, which is kind of nice. I think. I mean, certainly I can build it. I don't know if it's nice. He looks like he wants to go aggressive. Was maybe deterred by... Whoa. What? What's the deal with this? Hellhound Tarsier, or Hellhound Grimbotch? And then Tia is the idea, I guess? Maybe just no Tia, but then, like, this seems like way... I don't know, I guess... With Hellhounds, you can be a bit over-teched, and still that's... Well, build enough tech buildings that it would ordinarily be called over-teching, and still be just fine. I think the Oride Core is probably wrong against something as techy as this. I expect him to pressure me enough that I'll... I want to build a Steel Splitter so that he has to build an Absorber. I don't want to let him build, like... Hellhound Grimbotch or something. And I think something like this. Okay, Hellhound Perforator. That's fine. I can build a wall into this and, like... Really? Perforator, huh? I guess that... I mean, he expects to use this as his absorber, not as an attacker. But he has it available as an attacker later to let him tech back out of red. I didn't expect a perforator, but I guess it's what fits into his economy, given that he wants to replace his NG and keep droning. I think certainly I want at least one Tarsier. Oh, no, yeah, this is a Tia. This is another Tia again. Okay, slow down, slow down. So Tia uses up 7 drones, right? Yeah. So he would have 5 left. And he would be clicking this, building Tia Hellhound? Wow. So that's like 3, 10 damage per turn. Yikes. What if I do something like this? Threaten a moderate amount of attack against him, and also have some sort of defensive prospects. I'm not loving my position. Since he has access to green and he has the jump on me in attack. No Tia today. I responded aggressively enough to deter him, or he wants his green for force fields, or what? Barrier. Okay. So is the idea that if I keep playing defensively against Tia, he'll eventually outvalue me with Hellhounds, and if I don't, he'll pounce on the Tia? That's kind of cool, I guess. Well, I'll see if I can get in a Hellhound this turn. I certainly should be able to. What if I got a conduit here, actually? That's kind of nice. I like that idea. It gives me access to force fields, and also I can use a kinetic driver to take his animus out from under him if I ever want to. And also barriers, of course. Yes, I mean, I know this attack was doing nothing, but it's not like I wanted to hold the Grimbotch back, and I couldn't attack with the Perforator. I didn't really expect a low econ red, green, blue here. I don't know, did I? I expected like red, blue. I did not anticipate the green coming in, but I think he's making good use of it. Yeah. I expect him to try to take away my blue, maybe? Oh, but he can't Tia now next turn, so... that's one less thing I have to worry about, I guess. I would like the kinetic driver. I'm floating my red this way, which kind of sucks. Obviously, clicking this is not much good. I could click the Perforator and hold back the Steel Splitter instead, giving me a little bit more defensive tempo so that I can lose the wall instead of losing a Perforator. Something like this. And I don't think I'll build another engineer. I also don't know if I should be clicking his animus. Like, if he loses that, he can't really build much of anything, which is pretty cool for me. But I lose some attack, of course. And they cost, what, $2 to click? Yeah. He's probably considering the same thing. I don't feel like this game's going so great for me. But, I mean, if I take out his animus, I also remove 2 threat in the form of these perforators, which is kind of nice. Like, let's say I do this. He's only actually attacking for 6 now. So I could get a Hellhound. And, like... a Grimbotch? This gives him, like, a ton of defense, of course. Sort of. Like, gives him, in quotes. Because the perforators become defenders, whether they like it or not. Is this unit really worth it as a way to destroy his animus? It makes him waste a lot of turn. I don't know, he just rebuys the animus, doesn't he? Like, I just spent $7 on making him spend $6 on an Engie. It's not that great a deal. This drone's probably wrong. Let's make this a Tarsier. I'm kind of out of time to figure out whether this is a good idea. I think it's not. But I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, okay, so he replaces it. But I have easy defense for a little while with these Grimbotches timing out now. It's not actually all that easy, come to think of it. Hang on, he has 2 less threat than it looks. No, the perforators are real again. Yeah, I definitely feel behind this game. Misused my kinetic driver. Like, I don't know. I know it's better to wait. It felt like it would be important to deny him this Animus so that he couldn't, like, re-Hellhound up, so that he couldn't click his perforators. But, ugh. It just, like, is not as good value as it seems like to click a tech building. And you're better off just waiting. And I know that, and I just couldn't help myself. Because I haven't really internalized why it is the case, and so I convinced myself that my better judgment said it's good anyway, which I don't think it was. I don't know, I have more... I have about the same amount of permanent attack, I guess. You know what I'd like to do? Is try to have 3 green available next turn to Tia. He kind of looks like he's trying to do the same thing. Which, you know, of course, it's nice to have. We're gonna just do something like this. And see if he, like, tries to use his kinetic drivers a little early, or what? Yeah, attacking for 6 is a little bit awkward for me. Because I have to either lose Rhino or Wall. Rhino getting... Oh yeah, he's gonna Tia me now. I was thinking of Tia, but... I noticed he had saved himself 2 green, and I was like, oh, he's not going to Tia me now, is he? No. I thought he might have forgotten about Tia, to be honest. I was worried he was going to Tia me, but I didn't want to say it in case he somehow heard me. Oh, boy. This is bad news. Right? Like, I mean, I can counter Tia, I guess. It's a thing I can do. And I will not be dead on this turn. The Hellhound's pretty ambitious, I gotta say. Probably better to just wall and click the Steel Splitter. No, clicking Steel Splitter just, I don't know, it kills an engineer. I guess that's fine. The counter Tia does not seem like it's going to win. But what else am I going to do? Like, I'm just way... What if I build 2 force fields and a Grimbotch? Okay. But he can, like, snipe my walls, or my Blast Forge soon? So if I want to prevent that, I have to somehow, like, spend money on a Blast Forge? But I can't really do that. Yeah, I think he's just got me here, right? Whatever he does is gonna win. Yeah, I don't think you want a barrier, do you? Save that green for when you might want... when you know a barrier is good or a force field is good or something. Ugh. Yeah, we are pretty dead looking here, and he can just wall forever, and that's... Okay, see you later. Well played. That was pretty rough. What could I have done here? It just felt like he was one step ahead of me all game. Maybe this was a bit, like, too defensive? I mean, I clicked with my steel splitter. What exactly did that buy me? I killed one engineer, but it meant I had to build a wall next turn. Maybe I should have not built a wall, but, like, cut all this stuff to build, like, Hellhound Rhino, so that I'm absorbing for one, and he has to, like, actually click a perforator to do any damage to me. But in the meantime, I haven't, like, given up all my attacker tempo. That's probably better. I did have $1 to spare. But I didn't have $2 to spare. Well, I guess it's just a lot cheaper if I'm not building the wall at all, right? So I could do something like... Come back here, drones. Something like this, which forces him to actually attack with the perforator to get value, and in the meantime, I'm building up attack. The downside of this is that I've built much less defense in this way. Well, not that much less. Yeah, I mean, I guess a lot less, right? I built extremely defensive units in my actual line. I guess just basically because I was afraid of Tia. And I thought I needed to react strongly to prevent him from doing it. But the downside of that is that if he just doesn't Tia, he has plenty good things to do. He doesn't have to Tia me right away. He's well-teched to carry himself into the mid-game. So I think reacting so defensively to that Tia was... to that Tia threat, I should say, was overdoing it. I should have... Like, this Rhino can defend if he has to. And then this turn he is defending. And if I need him to be, you know, like, never attack and just absorb or soak against Tia, it's not great compared to a Grimbotch, but it's not a lot worse. And in the meantime, I've gotten the value of this Hellhound out. So that would be an interesting try. I think my opponent did a good job of sort of living on the edge, where he could Tia me whenever he needed to, but in the meantime he had useful ways to spend his tech. And there was just this like 1 or 2 turns maybe where he built kinetic drivers and couldn't Tia, and so I sort of forgot that the threat existed. I tried to get myself into a position to Tia, but I couldn't really do it. I don't know. He just played this one well, and you know, obviously my kinetic driver click was pretty silly. It just cost me more than it cost him, and didn't really buy me the game-shifting advantage that I somehow hoped it would. Well, definitely outplayed here. Well done. And that's our 2 games for the episode. So I guess we're done. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.